This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 1888, The Simple Secret to Living a Life of Adventure, by Jennifer of SimplyFiercely.com. And I'm Justin Malik, the guy who's been reading articles, book excerpts, even student essays to you every day, including holidays, for over 5 years, covering personal development or self-help, how to live a better life, and a lot more. It's always with permission from the authors or websites. Just hit the follow or subscribe button in any free podcast app to get new episodes for free. Today's post is from Jennifer of Simply Fiercely, so let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. The Simple Secret to Living a Life of Adventure, by Jennifer of SimplyFiercely.com. This month marks my 6-month blogging anniversary, and as a gift to us both, I want to write about one of my favorite topics, adventure. Because we all want more adventure in our lives, right? After all, adventure is what makes our blood pump, our palms sweat, and our hearts race. It's what makes life worth living. It's the secret ingredient, that little extra something that makes life amazing. And the good news is there's a simple way to live a life of adventure if you want it. But first, indulge me for a moment, and let's talk about this blog. 6 months. 6 months. It's actually kind of hard to believe because in that short time, this little blog has become a huge part of my life. I work, or at least think about blogging almost every day, and it had most definitely changed the way I think about myself. I'm actually starting to consider myself as a writer, albeit cautiously, a term I never thought I'd use to describe myself, right up there with minimalist. Blogging is bringing me a lot of joy. I love having a little part of the internet that's all mine and a passion project to pour my heart into. I love writing and trying to capture the ideas that flutter around my mind like tiny butterflies, sometimes with limited success. And most of all, I love having conversations with my readers about new ideas or hearing that my writing has actually helped or inspired someone. This seriously blows my mind. But here's the thing, my blog also scares the bejesus out of me. Every time I press the ominous publish button on a new post, a little voice tells me, my writing isn't original. I'm not sure I'm even making sense. And my personal favorite, who am I to be giving advice to anyone? Then the voice continues in a slightly hysterical tone. Why, oh why, couldn't you just keep your thoughts safe and secure inside your head? Now you're so exposed. And I feel utterly and completely terrified for a bit, and then I put my big girl pants on and get over it. But I'm starting to notice a pattern about fear, and it's not just blogging. I feel this way every time I step off a plane in a new country. There's always that split second when I wish I could teleport myself back home, where everything is safe and familiar. I feel this way every time I start or quit a new job. In either situation, there's always waves of doubt and the urge to continue doing what's comfortable, even if I'm miserable, rather than face the unknown. And I definitely felt this way when I told my now husband I loved him a week after we met, when every inch of my brain was shouting, keep your mouth shut. In fact, pretty much every awesome adventure in my life has been accompanied by soul-crushing, doubt-ridden fear, which leads me to draw the only logical conclusion, today's big secret and the point of this post. If you want to live a life of adventure, follow your fear. Speak when it's easier to stay silent. Go out when it's safer to stay home. Be vulnerable. Do the exact opposite of what your head is telling you to do and follow fear instead. Let it guide you off the beaten path, the one with clearly marked signs and streetlights, and instead down dimly lit alleys, because you know that's where all the fun happens. Now, to be clear, life with fear isn't all roses. Following your fear doesn't guarantee success, it doesn't guarantee you won't get lost, and it most definitely does not guarantee you won't get hurt. In fact, more often than not, it leads you directly to those things. Fear likes to watch you make awkward chit-chat at parties, roam the streets at 2 a.m. looking for a hotel, and cry into your pillow with a broken heart. Fear doesn't guarantee that everything will work out, but it does guarantee adventure. I followed fear and quit a job I hated, and ended up in a new job I hated even more. But along the way, I took an all-expenses-paid trip around Europe, learned I'm pretty awesome at public speaking, and sparked an interest in digital marketing. I followed fear and got married to a man I barely knew at 23, and ended up divorced by 32. But that marriage brought me to Australia, helped me to understand true self, and taught me a lot about what does and doesn't work in my relationships. I followed fear and hitchhiked with strangers, traveled solo around the world, and played with baby tigers. And I'm here telling my story with all my fingers and toes intact. So you win some, you lose some. But it's not about winning or losing, is it? It's about memories and skipped heartbeats, laughter and tears, purpose and passion. Adventure is waiting if you're brave enough to follow it. You just listened to the post titled The Simple Secret to Living a Life of Adventure by Jennifer of SimplyFiercely.com. Thank you to Jennifer. Really interesting take. I haven't heard it framed that way. Truth is, I do not like speaking very much, especially publicly. I really don't like that. And when people find that out, they're like, you're a podcaster. I'm like, yep. That's the reason I started it, because like she said, I followed fear. And now I didn't become a presenter on a stage in front of people live. Well, that can all be argued except the live part. That's really the only thing that's certain where I didn't follow the fear. But who knows, maybe that'll change in the future. All that to say, I followed my fear and look where it led me. Who knows where it'll take you? So hopefully this post gave you some inspiration or maybe even an aha moment. Something to think about. Thank you for being here and for subscribing to the show. Please do subscribe for free if you haven't already to get new episodes automatically. You can do that wherever you listen to audio. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.